everyone, it's DKGM. Welcome back to another video. I know in the past I've said that I want to focus more on just SF2 content, but sometimes I want to make videos like this because they're fun ideas I have, and I thought, why not do a video like this? Today I want to build a roster for a theoretical Smash 6. Now, with Smash Ultimate, Sakurai has said multiple times that instead of just making a new game, he's just going to keep building Ultimate's roster and making it bigger and breaking more records every single time a new character is added. But I feel like in like a decade or something, we'll get a brand new Smash game, and I don't think it'll be another Ultimate game. I think it'll be a reboot, and they're more going to focus on older characters and rework them to fit their newer games. But of course they're going to add new characters as well. So I'm going to make a roster of old characters and some new characters in a theoretical Smash reboot. Now, I have a roster ready, but there's only going to be about half the amount of characters that are in Ultimate. Right now, it's at 48, which is a bit over half, but even then, I'm cutting up like half the characters and adding some new ones as well. So, I mean, it sort of balances out. So, without further ado, let's get started. And hey, while you're here, look how many of you are not subscribed. This is when I tell you to subscribe, so subscribe please. Okay, thank you, bye. Of course, we have to talk about the characters who debuted on Super Smash Bros. For the N64. Now, you can't really see Smash Bros. Without any of these characters, but when people make their own videos talking about cutting characters from Ultimate as well, they always cut one character, and that's Jigglypuff. I can honestly see Smash Bros. Without Jigglypuff, and honestly, in Smash 64, Jigglypuff was a weird choice anyway, because this was Gen 1, only Gen 1 existed. We could have added Charizard, or Mewtwo, or Blastoise, or something else like that, and they chose Jigglypuff of all characters. It's really weird, and it's probably only because of the anime, but regardless, it's still a very weird choice, and we won't be having Jigglypuff because there's a lot of other Pokemon that are going to be in this roster, so I don't want it to be too bloated for Pokemon. So, we'll see the roster now, and this is what I have for the Smash 64 characters, and I know it's 10 on the top row and Yoshi gets thrown to the bottom, but he's not really his own series. He's more of a Mario character in my eyes, but still, he kind of fits there regardless. From now on, we'll be going by series to add new characters or cut characters from Ultimate. So we're going to start off with the Mario series, and we're also going to throw Donkey Kong in there as well, just so we can get him out of the way. But so for the Mario characters, of course we said we're already having Mario, Luigi, and Yoshi, but we're also going to bring back Peach, Bowser, and Diddy Kong. And yes, that does mean I'm cutting Dr. Mario, Rosalina, Bowser Jr., Piranha Plant, and King K. Rool, but you gotta keep in mind that how this roster is going to go. I had to cut a ton of characters, and trust me, there are so many characters that I wanted to add and bring back, but I just can't. And I need to keep the characters that are more important, and characters that can be revamped for a new game. And it really does suck. And Mario series is gonna have a brand new character. Now, a lot of people want Paper Mario, or Waluigi, or Geno, or something like that, but I think there's another Mario character that can fit way better, and has been around for a really long time, and is now getting the recognition it deserves, and that's Captain Toad. He can't jump, but this is Smash Bros, and I'm sure they're gonna find some way to make him be able to jump, or whatever. And I think he has a really cool moveset, and he has a very weird set of Mario games that don't play like Mario at all, so I think he would very much fit in Smash Bros. So, we can add him to the roster. Next, we'll move on with the Zelda series. Of course, we're going to keep Link, but we're also keeping Zelda, Sheik, and Ganondorf. Toon Link and Young Link are being cut because, I mean, it's just overlapping characters, and with how many characters are in the Zelda series and how many new characters get added into the franchise, it's very surprising that we don't get like any of them, and it's just the Triforce and just some other characters. We have 3 Links, 2 Zeldas, and then Ganondorf, so I mean, it's kind of weird, but we're keeping just the main guys. Of course, I am keeping Sheik, but she has a much different moveset compared to Zelda, and a lot of her moves can be revamped from her moveset in Hyrule Warriors, and I think it will work very well. The Zelda series is also going to get a brand new character. A lot of people seem to want Skull Kid, or Impa, or maybe even Giraham, who are all assist trophies that could work very well. But I personally want Impa for the game. Hey, so I know I said people want characters like Skull Kid, Impa, or Giraham, and then I said we want Impa in the game. I meant to say Midna, but I guess Impa and Midna sound too similar in my head, so I meant to say Midna there, and we are adding Impa, so sorry about that. Impa is another Sheikah, so it is basically like Sheik, but she has two big weapons, the Giant Knife and the Naginata from Hyrule Warriors, that can be worked in very well to her moveset, and she can use both of them, I think, pretty well. She would play much different. She'd be a sword character that isn't Link or Ganondorf, so I think it'd be like a sort of mix between the two. Not too light as Link, but not too heavy as Ganondorf, so we can add them to the roster. You're probably looking at the roster, seeing that one square in the middle that isn't being taken up. If you couldn't tell already, we're adding Wario as well. Might as well get him out of the way, and we'll add him to the roster. And yeah, that means we're not adding Waluigi. Sorry about that. Next, we'll be taking a look at two smaller franchises, and that's the Metroid franchise and the Kirby franchise. Now, Metroid has 3 Samuses and Ridley, so it's pretty easy to tell who I'll be getting rid of. Of course, we're keeping Samus, but we're also keeping Ridley. Now, Zero Suit Samus is a great character. I really like playing as her, but she's another Samus. I would rather much keep Ridley, a character who's been requested for so long and has a unique playstyle and isn't, Samus, instead of another Samus. While Zero Suit Samus does have a unique moveset, I still do think Ridley would make more sense. And that's all we'll be having for the Metroid franchise. And now taking a look at Kirby, we're keeping all 3 Kirby characters, Kirby, Meta Knight, and King Dedede. And on top of that, we're going to be adding a new character, and the only one that really makes sense is Bandana D. Personally, I'm a big Bandana D supporter, and I hope he does get added into the Fighters Pass, but a lot of people don't seem to have that same opinion. Bandana D always is the player 4 character in the newer main Kirby games, and it's sort of weird to have Kirby, Meta Knight, and King Dedede in the game, but not Bandana D. So, we'll add those characters to the list. And here's another smaller one. We'll fill in that space right there between Sheik and King Dedede, and say we're adding the Ice Climbers. Yeah, I feel like they make sense over a lot of other characters, but trust me, there'll be a lot of more one-off Nintendo characters that will be added to the roster. So, for now, we'll just throw in the Ice Climbers right there. And we'll do another quick one for Pokemon, and that's Star Fox. We're only gonna keep Fox and Falco. I'm cutting Wolf because, he was cut in Smash 4 anyway, so it seems like Sakurai does not hold Wolf as high as Falco, and it really makes sense to keep Falco over Fox. Falco's more recognizable, and he's also been with Fox for a much longer time. They're also working together, so I feel like it makes more sense to have Falco instead of Wolf. And besides, Falco and Fox have basically new movesets, and they're completely different compared to Melee or Brawl, so I feel like it fits more to have Wolf. And no, we're not going to be adding Crystal or any other character. It sucks, but yeah, that's the way it is. Alright, here's a big one. Pokemon. Alright, we already said we're cutting Jigglypuff, unfortunately, but that also means we're going to keep Pikachu, Mewtwo, Pokemon Trainer, and Greninja. I'm keeping Mewtwo because he's a legendary Pokemon, and probably the most popular legendary Pokemon. Pokemon Trainer because he's a very unique character with a weird playstyle, and besides, that means we're going to keep Squirtle, Ivysaur, and Charizard. I was considering just having Charizard, but I think Pokemon Trainer fits way better. And Greninja because, in the recent Pokemon poll, he was voted as the most popular Pokemon ever. So I feel like it'd be kind of weird to cut him. Pokemon is going to get a brand new character. Now, it would be pretty surprising if I didn't include a Gen 8 Pokemon. It is, because it's not a Gen 8 Pokemon. Instead, it's Gengar. I think Gengar could work pretty well. We've never had a Ghost type as a fighter in Smash Bros., and Gengar could already have his moves taken from Pokken. It does feel kind of weird to not promote Gen 8, but then again, this is going to be a Smash reboot, and this is like in a decade from now, so we'll be on like Generation 11 or something. So I feel like Gengar would be more recognizable to more people. We're going to be taking a look at multiple franchises this time, and the first one is going to be Mother. We're keeping Ness and Lucas. Short and simple, just like that. No Nintendo or Porky, any character like that. I feel like just 2 of them fit pretty well. We already talked about keeping Captain Falcon, but we're also going to be adding a new F-Zero character, and that being Black Shadow. He is more of just a heavy Captain Falcon, which is basically Brawl and Smash 4 Ganondorf, but I still feel like, while we don't need Brawl and Smash 4 Ganondorf, I still think Black Shadow could create a unique moveset and still be a pretty cool character at the same time. And there's also a big franchise that we haven't seen yet in this video, and that's Fire Emblem. Now, there's going to be a lot of characters I'm going to cut, but first we'll talk about the characters that will be staying. And those are going to be Marth, Ike, and Robin. Marth because he's basically the franchise mascot now. Ike because he's basically the only heavy character we have aside from Byleth, but I'm not keeping Byleth because, well, he's a pretty controversial character. And Robin because she's probably the most unique character in the entire game, and she has all her magic and the Levin sword and everything, so I think it'll be pretty nice. no Lucina or Roy, they're basically clones of Marth, as well as Chrom, and no Corrin because who cares, and then we talk about Byleth as well. So yeah, no Fire Emblem character, no new Fire Emblem character, maybe the new Fire Emblem character when the new game comes out. So, I mean, obviously I don't know anything about it, so we'll just have to see when that comes out. Maybe they'll be added. Before we talk about the one-off Nintendo characters, I'm going to move the new characters over to the right side. I feel like it just fits more because they're new characters and then the older characters can be on the left side. It's just a thing I wish I could do earlier. And instead of having ice climbers between Sheik and King Dedede, I want to add a more bigger Nintendo character who is only going to be the only character in his franchise, and that's going to be Pit. I feel like Pit just feels like he has to be in the game. He's basically a Smash Bros. Staple now, and hopefully we can get a new Kid Icarus soon. But that obviously means I'm going to be cutting Palutena and obviously Dark Pit. Palutena I didn't really want to cut, but it kind of makes sense. And we don't need Palutena, but Dark Pit, you know, who cares about him either. Now we're going to be talking about the one-off characters, and this is a very hard choice to make because I could only choose 4 characters. Those are the characters left on the roster to add, and this was a very hard choice, so here we go. I'll be keeping Mr. Game & Watch, Olimar, Little Mac, and Isabelle. Mr. Game & Watch because he's just such a unique character. He represents Nintendo before even Mario was made, so I think Mr. Game & Watch is a very big character. Olimar because, well, hopefully by the next decade Pikmin 4 is out and hopefully Olimar will be in it, so maybe it'll be a good way to promote Pikmin 4 because, well, it took so long to make. I wouldn't say Little Mac is a big Nintendo character nowadays, but he did get a game on the Wii in the form of a reboot, so hey, putting him in another reboot would be pretty cool. I also hope and pray one day that we'll get a new Punch-Out game. And Isabelle, I mean, Animal Crossing is now one of Nintendo's biggest franchises because of New Horizons and how well it did, and Villager is nice, but it can be any type of villager. I think Isabelle is way more popular because, well, it's just Isabelle, and you can't really customize Isabelle, I guess. I guess that makes sense, but, you know, a lot of these characters had to be cut, and it was hard, especially characters like Inkling and Shulk. It was very hard to make that decision, but it had to be done. But hopefully, maybe they'll get added as DLC in the reboot. Now you're probably wondering where the third parties are. Well, this is where we're going to be starting them, and the third parties that will be returning from Smash Ultimate will be on the left side of the roster. So yeah, that means I'm only going to be keeping 4 third-party characters. It's pretty insane, but I feel like these 4 characters that I chose basically represent Smash Bros. And you can't really see them without them, or at least you can't see them without Smash Bros. Anymore. And the characters I'll be keeping are Sonic, Pac-Man, Ryu, and Joker. Now I basically picked these characters based on the genre they're from and the company that made them. Sonic is a platformer made by Sega. I feel like Sonic basically kind of has to be in Smash Bros. Now, and while he isn't very loved anymore, I still think he makes sense to still be in the game. Pac-Man is an arcade game made by Namco. Pac-Man's been in a lot of different genres, but we'll just call arcade genre. Pac-Man basically is gaming. Most people know who Pac-Man is when they think of gaming, and I mean, he has to be here. Ryu is a fighting game made by Capcom. I could have added Mega Man, but then again, he's another blue character in another platformer, so I think having Ryu makes way more sense. And Joker is from an RPG made by Atlas. Now, I could have added a Square Enix character, I could have had Cloud or Hero, but Square Enix is pretty stingy with their characters. Atlas is much more enjoyable with Smash Bros, and I feel like Joker is a big inspiration for Smash Ultimate 2 based on how the menus look. And I also could have added a character from Konami, but I mean, Konami's Konami, and it could have been Snake, could have been Simon, but still, I feel like these are the 4 third-party characters who basically represent Smash Bros. Now. The characters on the right are basically just going to be how they are on the left. Third parties made by 1 developer and 1 genre. So, here we go. The first one is going to be Sora, which is an RPG made by Square Enix. We don't have Cloud or Hero, so I feel like Sora kind of fits. He is basically the 3rd biggest Square Enix franchise aside from Final Fantasy and Dragon Quest. And Sora is probably the biggest requested character now, so Sora makes sense to be in the game. The next character is Crash, which is a platformer made by Activision, or whatever it was back in the day. Crash is probably the 2nd most requested character, and I feel like Crash being a big rival to Mario and Sonic in the 90s basically solidifies himself a spot on the roster. The 3rd character is going to be Heihachi, which is a fighting game made by Namco. Cutting Terry kind of makes sense. I mean, we already have Ryu, and Street Fighter is a way bigger franchise than King of Fighters or Fatal Fury will ever be, honestly, in my opinion. So I feel like getting a 3D fighter in the form of Heihachi would be pretty cool. He's also been a Mii fighter in Smash 4 and Ultimate, so I feel like it's finally his time to be put in the game. And the last character is Bomberman, which is a puzzle game made by Konami, or Hudson Soft. Hudson Soft is basically, well, Konami now, so we'll call him Konami. It's actually really nice because now that we have a Konami character, we don't need to worry about having Snake or Simon. That means that every third-party character in this game is made by a different publisher. Aside from Pac-Man and Heihachi, but then again, Namco has been making Smash Bros. Along with Nintendo for Smash 4 and Ultimate, so I feel like they kind of deserve to have two characters, and they're way different genres, so it makes sense. And I basically feel like these are the third-party characters that need to be in the game who are already in the game. That means we're done with the roster. I made a few final adjustments, like adding borders around every character, so you won't see like some cropped out of character. So it looks way nicer, and there's also the like 4-player things at the bottom, of course, to play Smash Bros. And free-for-alls. I feel like 8-player Smash should still stay, but I mean, most of the time you'll be playing 4 players rather than 8 players. So I mean, we'll just keep it like that. Don't even worry about it. It'll be fixed, I guess, whenever someone plays 8-player Smash. But that's going to do it for this video though, guys. I hope you all enjoyed. Be sure to like and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. And hey, maybe next time we do this, I kind of want to plan a roster for a future Street Fighter 6. So maybe if you guys enjoyed this video enough, I'll do that as a video. So I'll see you guys then.